On the first day of BrandMAS, my true self gave to me kick-ass and clear messaging. Okay, that kind of works. I'm not so sure on day one, it's not exactly rhyming, but I'm tackling the biggest thing there is in your brand strategy. I'm starting on day one. And I've actually re-recorded this. So this is brand new, fresh, day number one, because I actually watched last year's back and it wasn't quite as clear as it could have been. And I'm talking about clear messaging, so it has to be clear. So I re-recorded this. I've got my Winter Wonderland backdrop, my new reindeer antlers, and dodgy jumper as well. But yeah, let's talk about messaging, if I can say the word messaging. Okay, so I'm doing this a little bit differently. Now each video it should be 5 minutes long, but some do run over a little bit in sort of 8 minutes territory. But they're normally 5 tips per video. But with messaging, I'm going to do it a little bit differently, and it's probably going to be about 5 tips, but it's kind of more about what it actually is than tips to get it right. Because I think that is important. We are talking about clear and that clarity behind it, and that's not quite what I did on last year. I think because I was trying to do the tips, that's where the unclarity, that's not even the word, that's where it wasn't so clear. Okay, so let's start with what messaging isn't before we go on to what it is. So messaging, your message, and a lot of people come to me, and especially with clients, I will tend to send them a bit of a pre-session questionnaire, and it is, what do you know your message? And it doesn't really surprise me actually that what they send back is what they think their message is. It's normally not what you think it is. So a lot of people will say, okay, so my message, say if they're a coach and they're an empowerment coach, it might be that my message is that you can do anything. That's what I want people to know. That's not what your messaging is. That might be part of what you say and part of what you want them to know as part of your, not your message, but as part of your mission. But what your message is, and without going too technical, I've always got to be careful here because it's hard. It's a hard one to nail as your message. But I'm going to try and break it down as simply as I can. And it goes like this. I don't know if anybody likes maths or likes equations, but I want to keep it simple. This is A. Okay, I should have had some letters, shouldn't I? So A equals B. Or it can get very confusing, and I could have an A plus B equals C. Oh dear, like I'm rocking out now. So what is A? That is a big question. So A is, I should say straight away, your message is your deepest core belief about what you do and what that transformation is that from working with you is. But what is A that equals B, or A plus B equals C? Okay, so A for me would be your brand strategy, or it could even be messaging. So your message can change depending on which platform you're on, or maybe you're launching a little bit of a different course, maybe you have different niches. So it doesn't have to be exactly set in stone, but it does have to be set for that one audience or that one product. So for me, generally, it is that strategy is what you need to really get known, to get noticed. It's that deep core of your brand to really show up as you want to and attract your dream clients. So if we're breaking that down, A is like the vehicle or the tool. For me, it's strategy equals what does that give them? So for me, that gives you clarity to attract your dream clients. So it's kind of, so A equals B, strategy gives you clarity, or gives your dream clients clarity. See, I'm not saying it very clear now. And that's where last year's video was a little bit unclear, because it's a really hard one to say in 5 minutes. This is something as part of my group program that takes 2 weeks to go through to master your message, because it is not easy at all. So what is that vehicle? So if you're a book coach, so best example, it might be that writing a book is the best way to get known or to give you that authority. Or for me, it's strategy is the best way to get that specificness, gets that clarity to your dream clients who know exactly what you're about. It can then, it'll branch off, so it can then be, for me, attract your dream clients, makes more sales. It's kind of what that leads to. So it could even be A plus B equals C. So I think on my Instagram at the minute, I do change this. I think I put energy plus strategy equals dream clients. So that kind of, I guess, is my overall. So I'm saying the strategy, but then I go a little bit deeper and say it's that energy that you deliver that strategy with. Because you can have the strategy, all the strategy in the world, but a bit like this series, brand mindset and strategy. If you've got that mindset, if you've not got the mindset, you're not going to deliver the strategy the same. And that's what my message is at the minute. So do change it sometimes, and you can change it. If it's not quite working, you can tweak it. Or they do say to visit every 90 days or so, just to check it's working. So, is it attracting dream clients? Is it clear? Test it out with people. Is it making you sales? So yeah, for me, energy plus strategy, I forgot about it. I did A and B. Energy plus strategy equals dream clients. So what is it? What is it about what you sell? If you're a product industry, I mainly attract entrepreneurs and coaches and authors, but if you have a product-based business, it could be something like, well, say if you made bath bombs, or just relaxation it even could be. So it could be this where it gets complicated because it's not necessarily your product. It could be that relaxation equals, what does that give? That could be reduced stress. It could be that it gives you an easier life. That gives you that time out. That's a different example. So have a think. What is yours? It's gone over 5 minutes. I knew it would because it's such an in-depth one. But what is that vehicle? What are you saying about what you sell or what you do? Which element of it, which tool are you saying equals this? That is your message. And that's what you need to weave through everything that you do. So even if you've got a brand story, you weave in that message at the end with the insight, and you just say that gives you that. And I do it so many times. I'll say about being intentional. So I might not say strategy. I might say being intentional gives you this. And I might sometimes change a little bit what it gives you, but I'm always saying that gives you this. I hope that helps. I hope I've made that a bit clearer than I did in my first video, which you won't have seen. You just signed up, so you won't have seen video one unless you did it last year. So yeah, come and find me. I'm on social media. My links are all somewhere down there. There's an email. There's finding me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't really go on there. But come and find me if you've got any questions about this. If you know that your message, especially now that I've said what your message is, if you know that it's not quite right, or you're thinking, I still don't really know what it is, or yes, it's not what I thought it was, then do get support. Not necessarily from me, it could be other brand strategists. Other good brand strategists are available. But if you are really stuck and want to get this nailed, then I would love to help. But just give it a go yourself. This is not what this is about. I've just kind of said my own little sell there. BrandMAS is about you getting your head around it, head around the mindset to be able to start putting the strategy in place. So give that a go, write it down and see how it feels. Okay, 8 minutes. See, I said 5 to 8 minutes. I've actually gone to the end of the scale, but like I said, messaging is the biggie. So we are straight out of there, straight into the tough stuff, and it'll probably get a bit lighter from now on, but give that a go. Find me if you need me, and welcome to BrandMAS. I will see you on day 3 or in day 3 video if you're watching them all together, and then every other day from that. Thank you so much for signing up, and I will chat soon.